guest downstairs, and you see her. She's like, the fuck sort of ding dong podcast are they doing down there? Is this the podcast?
Yes.
Hey everybody, welcome to the TVRBOCAST.
You're ruining everything.
Your host, Brick Rigby. Ben, what keeps you up at night?
Back pain, mostly.
I mean, in your mind.
I can't think through the back pain.
Yeah, just still back pain.
Still back pain? I thought, when are we going to do the real episode?
What does that mean?
I think
when I talk about my deep-seated father issues. And,
Never.
All right, take two.
Hey, what's up?
Real quick. let's decide an order. Like
That's it, Chief.
No, what's up, guy? It's Brick.
that's as good an intro as any.
Horrible.
Eric said he was missing his weekly dose of What's Up Guy.
Yeah, well, now I can get a daily dose.
Except you don't say What's Up Guy on that.
I'm gonna start, because Eric wanted me to.
This is for you, Eric.
Remember how we always made the joke that we just made these for Tim? Now we make them for Eric, his brother.
Tim's going to be heartbroken.
We've moved up in the Weirs family. Soon we're going to be doing like Christian podcasts for his dad.
Do you remember that idea we had?
Yeah.
We have me, somewhat educated pastor's kid, an actual pastor, and Brick who knows nothing, just asking questions.
That's what we did at Bible camp, and that's how I learned everything I know about the Bible, which isn't much, but there's something there.
So we're like right in the swing of whatever's going on the internet with gaming right now.
All right, can we keep this to like a minimum of 4 minutes? Because we talked
A
an entire
minimum or a
podcast.
maximum.
Except there is addendums to, we were talking in the one episode about how shitty Bethesda's being.
Yeah.
They got even shittier.
Did they?
They doxed everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Turns
Yeah.
out all of their support tickets got sent to a random guy who's just like, hey, everybody, I know your addresses and names and stuff now.
Let's just let this roll, and I'll cut us off at 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
That's 10 more.
Oh, God, that's too many. That's just an addendum to last week's?
Right. But I was going to...
I'm asking you if that was...
Yes.
It's going to be last week's. So if I say last week's podcast where we talk about gaming, Bethesda got even worse.
Yes. Is there anything more that needs to be said about that?
What will they do next?
What?
You know what I think they're going to do is they're going to be replaced by 4 or 5 better post-apocalyptic games that are coming out
Rage
next
2.
year. Rage 2.
Far Cry 17.
New Dawn or something.
Far Cry New Dawn.
From the outside by real friends.
Obsidian's making a new game.
The Outer
That's
Worlds?
Not post-apocalyptic, but it's in space.
It gave me heavy like BioShock and Borderlands vibes.
Honestly, that's what made me most excited about it.
Yeah.
I'm just excited about it because I love Obsidian.
Yeah, they're good at writing games that I find entertaining. And they've got like that edge to them where they're like self-aware enough to like make jokes at their own expense.
I mean, we all agree that New Vegas is the best Fallout.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
Obsidian had everything to do with New Vegas.
some purists might prefer the original, but if you go back and play the original Fallout and Fallout 2, they are flawed games.
Yeah.
They're good, though. Like, the writing is some of the best parts of them. And that's what Obsidian's good at. And that's what I'm excited for on this new game.
Except there is one thing where I felt like 3 was better than New Vegas.
In which way?
Oh, wait, no. I'm thinking of New Vegas versus 4. Never mind. 4 is bad.
Fallout 4, the thing that I liked about 4 was that it actually... You remember how fucking hard it was to shoot guns in 3
Yeah,
New Vegas?
I hated that.
Like,
because it wasn't based on your aiming in the gun. It was like a die roll.
yeah, it's like... It was just hard to like aim. And
I
then
didn't mind that, though.
And then 4, they were like, hey, it's like a shooter. It's like it's got shooter mechanics now. You can actually aim at things and like it feels good to shoot things. And I liked that. It was like mechanic wise, the game I liked it a lot. I feel like.
See, here was my problem with that is because when I played like 3 in New Vegas, I liked to put myself into the game and like role play it kind of. Like, for example, in New Vegas, I was like, I'm a science man. So I took all my points out of strength because I'm a skinny nerd.
Right.
But I put them all into like intelligence and science and repair and stuff. And that's how I played the game. And like, you try to shoot things with a pistol and it's just like, fuck, bullets shooting straight sideways, can't hit broadside of a barn, point blank. But then like we're robots and we need your help, and I'm like, yes. The whole Big Mountain expansion that's based around science was really fun to play because once I got to that, I was like almost max level and everything.
Now, that's one of the things I think Obsidian does extraordinarily well, especially in comparison to Bethesda, which we can compare them because they've both made games in the same series. But especially Fallout 4, like the role-playing and the dialogue options and the way your stats affect how you play the game and progress was like way dumbed down compared even to Fallout 3.
Yeah, it was just, you couldn't do anything.
In like New Vegas, when I played those science builds, sometimes you could avoid conflicts by being smart.
That's like, one of the things.
There was a couple dialogue options that were just like some guy's getting mad at you or something, and then it's like science, and you're like, we don't have to do this because I'm smarter than you.
Right,
smart people.
Actually,
also, plus, really quick, when you get Eddie finally, the flying robot guy, you become a god.
Yeah,
if your science is that high, and then once you find Eddie and you can repair him, you are no longer touchable by anything.
Another game that did that really well was we haven't finished it yet. We've played a decent amount of Divinity Original Sin 2, and there are dialogue and gameplay options that only appear if you're like a certain race or a certain class or undead or not undead, or even like there's a bunch of like 10-ish characters that you can play, and they also have their own side quests and
backstory
and dialogue options with certain NPCs that aren't in any other.
A role-playing game,
right?
I mean, like Skyrim and stuff. Yeah, that's an RPG. But like Divinity is not an RPG. It's a role fucking playing goddamn game.
It's not an RPG. It's an RPG.
It's the closest you can get to a tabletop RPG in like a computer video game experience.
Woman whose lips tripled in size after Botox injection.
I had a story I wanted to bring up, but we'll wait till we get to that.
I'm enticed because I was upstairs a pooping.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, are you excited for this?
Botox story? Yeah.
Wimble, you just said same engine.
I don't know. I was just assuming. I thought it was
3 and New Vegas were the same engine. I was a little disappointed at first because
they said they've been using the same engine since Oblivion.
But this is Obsidian, and although it does kind of look like the same engine.
All right, let's all just be real. Lay the cards on the table. The actual like as a game engine for like 3 New Vegas was bad.
Oh, did you not hear about that controversy?
What?
Well, okay. There was, and one of the reasons that this whole thing is entertaining to me is because Bethesda just screwed over Obsidian by a lot, because they had agreement like, hey, if this game reaches 8.5, a score of 8.5 aggregate or whatever, then they get like this huge bonus. And
who gets the bonus?
Obsidian did for making New Vegas, I believe.
Okay.
And like what they did was Bethesda moved the release date one day earlier so they couldn't put out the patch that was going to fix all the day one bugs on New Vegas, which significantly affected the score. Well, okay. They got an 8.4. So they were just out of reach of that big bonus, and now it's entertaining because they're like, Bethesda screwed up, and Obsidian's coming out with something that looks like
the mighty have fallen.
It looks like what people want out of a Fallout game, but they're just making their own. And honestly, I'm totally okay with that. Anytime a company gets too big for their britches, feel free to come eat their lunch. Like, if somebody made a game as good as Half-Life 3 was supposed to be, like, same vibe, new, updated engine.
That's why, again, shout out to CD Projekt Red for being real.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Kojima for just
We got a couple minutes.
Kojima.
We got a couple minutes left. Do you want to talk about your excitement for Cyberpunk 2077?
Oh, my God. There's not enough time.
There isn't. But
I mean, I can summarize it up that Cyberpunk has always been something cool, and nobody's really touched Cyberpunk, really.
I mean,
except
there's
for a few like sci-fi novels,
indie projects.
Yeah, but there's never.
I've read a lot of sci-fi books and watched a lot of Cyberpunk movies / Altered Carbon on Netflix is really good. Well, it's cheesy and campy at times, but that's kind of in my wheelhouse.
I mean, Cyberpunk is always cheesy at some point.
Yeah,
but like we've already like video games have just fucked with
We've gotten like Deus Ex, and there's some Shadowrun adaptations, and then there was like Hard Reset, was basically just a cyberpunk themed shooter.
Yeah, but this is like cyberpunk.
This is like the first time we've gotten. Also, when you whisper, the noise gate doesn't catch you.
Cyberpunk.
There you go.
This is the first time we've gotten something on this scale, I think, in terms of RPG in like a cyberpunk setting. Like Deus Ex is probably the closest thing I can think of, but it's all...
I never asked for this.
It's linear storytelling, which I enjoy, and they just have big areas where you can do stuff in many different ways. It's not complete open world, do whatever you want.
I'm very excited for it. I watched the gameplay thing, and everything seemed great. Because I love the idea of, like, you know, cybernetics.
Right.
Like, I'm hoping the future becomes really cool, and I will lop off my arm if I can get a robo arm. Just IRL. That'd be sick.
Like, it's cool that people can get a robot arm if they lose theirs, but could I just exchange mine, maybe? Can I get a robot back? Do they make those?
Can I donate the arm? For like a coupon?
Somebody who needs a good working arm.
Like, oh, you need some fingers? These bad boys ain't too bad.
It's like
you can have them, and then I get 50% off my robot.
Like
arm.
a used car trade-in.
Yeah, like trade in my stupid human parts.
For better robot parts.
That's enough video games. Let's talk about the inevitable cyberpunk future now.
So, Wimble.
But, okay, on the real, though.
Yes, Ben.
Are you putting... I mean, people are, like... First of all, where are we? People can get legs
Minnesota.
That work. You can laser off parts of your eyes so that you can see better.
What I don't understand is how come we haven't been able to replace organs well?
I mean, they've definitely done some. I know
we've done the important ones like heart,
artificial heart.
But like, can't we start a little bit easier? Like artificial.
Like if you want artificial kidneys / liver, what is it? Like a dialysis machine will take care of cleaning your blood, right?
Yeah,
but that's
surely
like a whole big old system. You mean why haven't we made a small one that you can fit in your body to replace those parts?
Get rid of those kidneys because they're dumb, and just get a good one.
Did you ever see Repo the Genetic Opera?
I haven't. It looked.
I watched a little bit of it in middle school.
I really liked it.
That was like one of the first movies on Netflix.
Yeah,
streaming when Netflix streaming was bad, and they only put their bad movies on there.
Yeah, I remember that.
Did you just assume it was bad because it was on Netflix?
Well, yeah, because they only had bad movies. Because I remember me and my friends would like search to find Netflix gems. Them. And it was like, oh fuck, what's that one? It's kind of in the vein of like cheesy 80s camp movie, but it takes place in the future.
And it's a musical.
No.
Wait, what are you talking about?
A movie. The main girl's name is Apple. Boy? Something boy? Turbo Boy? Turbo. It's Turbo something.
I think Turbo Kid.
Turbo Kid.
I have that, and I've watched part of it, but I was like, this is too good to watch by myself. I need to have some other people watch it with me.
That was the last Netflix gem that I remember. Like, that was still like Netflix movies are all kind of like, these are the movies people didn't rent through our DVD service, so we just put them on streaming. And I remember seeing Turbo Kid, and I was like, this movie's lit. Have you seen Turbo Kid?
No.
It's pretty good.
I remember watching really bad horror movies on there. That was fun.
God, so many.
A lot of fun.
Honestly, I subscribe to...
That was when it was full of Transmorphers, The Fall of Man, and stuff like that. That's
like... There's entertainment value to those movies, though.
That's like when you go to Walmart and you get the 5 movies for $1. Like I have the Mad Max collection, which is all like post-apocalyptic car movies, and it's like Road Fury and... just a bunch of bad movies, which we still haven't watched yet.
Isn't it Turbo Cult's eventual goal to end up on one of those?
Oh, yeah. I really want to make a movie that's just bad,
and
but
like
just
one of those
good enough
3-for-1 deals.
Yeah.
To end up on a compilation DVD
in the
that gets
Walmart
thrown in a
bargain
Walmart bin.
Yeah.
That's goals right there.
I was at the theater in town the other day, and they play like a ad at the beginning for private screenings, and how great would it be to make either short film or regular film and then just invite all of our friends to come see it on a big screen?
That would be so lit.
The initial thought I had was we could do like wide shots and the subject matter would still be large because the screen would be so big. Like, you frame stuff differently when you're thinking about this is going to play on a big theater screen versus someone's phone.
I suppose you don't work at the Brick House anymore, and the Brick House isn't owned by anybody we know anymore. Is
No.
there a movie theater we can get into to play like Philly?
I could ask. Like
Quick
the
note,
Brick House.
If nobody knows what I'm talking about, Philly is a short film we filmed on the way to a
get
pizza
pizza.
place, and then while we were eating pizza, and then when we left. We shot a film in the entire trip.
It was a
And
scripted vlog.
It was
We went and got
just did a
pizza.
whole bit, but we made it good.
Well,
It's like a-
made it
what?
good might be a stretch. What if we put that
quotations.
in like we did a
Sundance.
featurette with interviews for like 3 minutes and then played the 4-minute short film and had that be like a Thursday episode.
Do the behind the scenes and bloopers and B-roll and cast and crew interview. So it's like this 30-minute like behind the
feature
scenes
film
like
thing.
featurette for a
And it's like,
4-minute movie.
This is the set of most of the movie. It's a Subaru Woo. You can see inside. We've got
just like how
Nice.
the trailer is half of the movie.
right.
But I mean, that was fun. We should do that again. Except it's not like we didn't plan that or anything. We're just like, let's make a movie. Also, let's go get pizza. Bing, boom, boom.
Okay.
Oh boy, ain't touching that one.
What?
Someone tagged me in somebody's asking about a lyric video, but it's you know what? We'll talk about this later because I don't know who in the scenes listens to this podcast.
Square up.
And now we're back into the.
What were we talking about?
We're talking about how I want. We're not talking about
Please
anything
pick
until
your mic
we'll
up.
fix Mike. Fix your Mike Wazowski. We were talking about video games. We're nerds.
This podcast is
We're
literally
talking about
just
B movies.
is us B movie.
Let's
you
talk
like
about
jazz?
Let's talk about
I hate jazz.
Let's talk about making a short film.
Making a short film. What goes into making a short film? Having a camera, having people to act in it,
And a script, a loose script,
a loose script.
at
sometimes
the
not
very
even.
least.
It wasn't even. We didn't even have a script. It was just you feeding lines
Right.
as you thought of them.
I was like, this is the direction where I see this going. You guys say something. There's actually, have you ever watched any mumblecore movies? Because that's basically an entire genre based around cameras filming and actors improving, and then they just make something out of it.
Don't they just just run through takes a whole bunch?
Yeah, and there's a lot of
I
improv.
think, didn't we do that on Philly? Where it was like say you're gonna move to Philly to start a noise band, and you're just like, let's move
But
to Philly.
how do you react now?
And it's just like, let's move to Philly and start a noise band. All right, that was bad. Hold on. Let's move to Billy. And so,
Let's move
okay,
to
I put that
Billy.
one up. Let's move to Philly. And you just like keep running takes until one keeps, and then you just roll
Right.
with it.
or improv something that works better. Do you think we would be good at having an actual real script and sticking to it and filming script?
I feel like that'd be fun to try. We haven't really tried that yet. We can't write a script.
Send us your screenplay.
If it's a 4 to 5 minute video, there's a much larger chance of it being made.
Yes.
I feel like we're a bit limited because, like, we could write just any old script, but then we have to find like either like legit actors or I mean, I guess the thing that's constraining about this is I basically have to write the script with my friends in mind for each part because
It has to fit you have to fit the role.
Yeah.
like I can't write a story about a grizzled army veteran because
I mean,
none of my
he's
friends
got
are
the
good.
fit.
None of my friends are good enough actors.
Got the Metal Gear fit.
You do have that.
He's just
Metal
gonna
Gear.
talk like Snake. Just write a Snake fanfic.
Just write a all right, I'll just pitch you one of my mini Metal Gear fanfics.
All right.
We'll move it. It's called Philanthropy. It's a Snake X Ocelot /fig.
No.
Oh.
In a way, though, a lot of Turbo Cult episodes are like
Old
short
Ocelot.
films.
Yeah.
Fanfics.
I mean, yeah, we have
here's
like
the story of the time we filmed the Danger Committee
Yeah.
or whatever.
I mean, yeah.
Like the Monday vlogs, yeah.
All you gotta do is put some black bars on the top and bottom.
And then it's
Bada bing,
cinematic.
ba boom.
Which we have on occasion. I really like. There was that one time, like we went to Perkins late at night and filmed that, and it actually came out kind of cool.
Yeah. For no reason. Like we just ate at Perkins
Or
and we were drunk. So
No, okay. I was like, is that the time we met Afro Man?
no.
No, I
we
wasn't
didn't
there for
film
that.
that.
That was a
That was
treat.
do you want to talk? Do you want to tell that
Fucking
story?
great.
No.
Adam. Stop.
All right, fine. You're twisting my legs.
Your
We-
legs.
We were all hanging out at Tim's, and Afro Man was playing downtown at the
Red carpet, right?
the red carpet, the main stage.
Which is just like a bar we have in town.
What is he known for again?
Smoking weed and making very base level funny weed songs.
Okay.
Yeah.
With such hits as But Then I Got High, Colt 45, and Two Zigzags. And you haven't heard, nobody in the entire world has heard of any of his other songs.
I mean, I haven't, so I can't
Like,
confirm
that's
or
it.
deny that.
That's it. I think maybe
Except
one
for the
more.
people that probably watched his show.
He had a show?
Was that not what he was doing?
Oh, I think you meant like a TV show. So anyways, we
Afro Man TV show. What does he do?
We got all liquored up and we're like, let's go to Perkins for some late night treats.
Yeah.
And we went to Perkins, and then a
Afro
large
Man
group
was there.
of white women came in, and then Afro Man came in and sat down with his manager lady.
Like a couple booths down from us.
And he was being harassed the entire time.
By a bunch of drunk white girls and like a couple dudes.
And they just burst into song, but like the two Afro Man songs everybody knows.
So bad.
Like in the Perkins?
Yeah, in the Perkins. And like an entire day, like 12 white girls.
And then he's sitting there like kind of like,
and he's like, oh yeah, that's funny. I
that's
got
cool.
you. I got you. All right, yeah.
Can you imagine?
And he's like, I just want to eat some fucking bacon pancakes
Okay,
now.
but then there was the one guy.
And then there's this guy who kept walking over to him. And he's like, yo, man, dude, I'm a big fan. Like, yo, I don't know what he was talking. He's like, I rap too, probably. You know, then
Yeah.
he's like, yo,
Yeah.
and Afro Man, bless his heart, has the patience of an angel.
Yeah.
Because he was just like,
Yeah.
all right, cool,
Yeah.
square game, dog. And then everyone kept shouting, Adam.
And then
let Afro Man eat.
once we heard that his name was Adam, we lost our shit at our
'Cause of
table.
that was
Vine.
the vine that brought
Yeah.
Nimble and I together. Adam, stop. Zach, stop. No, Adam, fuck. No, Adam,
That was
the
Adam, the vape one.
the vape one. So
Okay.
they were all like, Adam, leave Afro Man alone.
And then we started doing it.
like, Adam. And eventually, like, just the entire
They all
Perkins is
left.
like, Adam, stop. And then Adam would leave him alone for like 5 minutes.
They had
and
to,
then
like,
he'd go
drag him
back
away.
over.
I imagine he was a little intoxicated as well.
Yeah.
And the whole time, Afro Man was just like, all right,
chilling, trying to eat.
okay,
So
I
that's
just
our,
wanna eat.
okay, new goal, blow up, go to Perkins, and have somebody walk in like, dude, is that Dolphin Party? Yo, free Shabaka, dude!
They're like, yeah, cool. Yeah,
That's
that's on my Gucci shoes. Yeah, you got it.
They,
Yeah.
Can I have these chicken
Havarti.
strips?
Okay. I feel you. What? Havarti.
Is Free Shabakadu gonna be like? Let's imagine
It's
5
gonna
years
be-
down the line. Is that the one that we hate doing?
It's
but
gonna be
everybody
dolphin
demands
parties.
we do it live.
It's gonna be dolphin parties. Neck Deep's a part of me. They hate playing that song.
I feel like every band's got one of those.
Yeah.
Let's discuss that for at most 5 to 10 minutes.
What bands?
What
hate
bands
playing?
do you know, like for a fact, like confirmed? They're like, oh,
Yeah. Neck Deep's a part of me.
but which ones? And I also want some speculations.
I mean, if Aha played "Take on Me" first, everybody would leave. Do you know another Aha song?
See, that's what I'm really confused on is like when you see bands playing at like casinos and shit. I don't know if anyone else listening to this can relate, but at least where we live, there's a lot of casinos around here, which are usually venues for older people who like
I've still never been to a casino.
Me
back,
neither.
Back
Never,
home, there was
ever.
2 casinos within a reasonable distance.
I will say I've been in a casino in Montana, but I've never gambled
I
at a
have
casino.
a gambling problem.
So you probably
and
should.
luckily, I live far enough away from a casino now where it's kind of a hassle to get to one.
Right.
But I mean, last time I went in there, it's usually you walk in with like a take $40 to like $20 to $100 out of the ATM and be like, this is it. So I don't go overboard. I remember one time I walked in with 20 and then walked out with 600.
Ooh.
But then there's other times where you walk in with 80 and then leave crying. But
I
anyways,
mean,
with,
I wouldn't walk into a casino without knowing I might lose all this money.
I will say Prairie's Edge Casino has really good ice cream cones, though. I don't know, like what it's just normal, like
Let's just go
Is
there
it
for
soft
ice cream.
serve?
it's normal bulk soft serve, but for some
soft serve is
reason
so
it's
good.
just the best soft serve I've ever had. It's not like home; it's nothing special, but just for some reason.
So bringing this back to bands.
Bringing this back to bands, casinos
serve.
around here, like I get ads on Imager that the Long Island medium psychic lady is coming to like Mille Lacs Casino or something.
Right.
Casinos are
A lot of weird
venues
people make
for very strange acts.
right. Magic is a lot of time in casinos, which I would like to go see sometime. Like that's the one of the things I would go see at a casino.
That's like when you see, like, if you're gonna see Whitesnake in the year of our Lord 2018, 2019, when you're listening to this, whenever, a casino's probably where you're gonna go see Whitesnake. You know what I mean?
Except, like, okay, I recently saw Paramore play at the Armory, and that was a great experience because it's this huge standing room. But I had a couple friends that went to see Paramore at a casino nearby, and it was all like seats. Can you imagine sitting down for a Paramore concert?
Because most like casino venue places are like, it's a dining room with like tables and shit.
It's just, it's very bizarre to me, the concept of sitting down for a concert.
That was
the point of this whole thing is that oftentimes there's 80s bands who were like one-hit wonders that play there. And I don't get how one-hit wonder bands play. Like if Aha played an entire like hour-long set, like where do you play Take On Me? Do you make them sit through all the other songs that nobody knows and they go, oh yeah, I guess this is okay. This is your last chance. Take me on.
Do you think there's like legitimate Aha fans that know all their music that would show up to that kind of show?
There's got to be, because I know like
they existed in the era where like you put some music out on the radio and then people bought your album.
Because that being a one-hit wonder nowadays isn't really mean that much.
Right. I mean, like, I know a lot of people that only listen to singles. And that's weird to me.
But that's like you listen to it on YouTube and then you like stream it on Spotify or whatever.
Yeah.
And I guess you'd make a little bit of money. But like back in the 80s and 90s when you're a one-hit wonder, the only way people could get your music was like you'd buy the single. Like I feel like being a one-hit wonder back then was a lot more profitable than it is now.
Yeah. On the other hand, you could get like if you got one good song that was played millions of times, it doesn't matter how good the rest of the album is.
I'm trying to think of a one-hit wonder now. Like, can you name another Shawn Mendes song?
Okay, that one. So songs that are Vine famous and like TikTok famous, because we just saw like that King whatever artist, and he has like 2,000, 3,000 plays on every other song and 2 million plays on that other song.
Can Dolphin Party blow up on TikTok or something?
That's what we're talking about.
We're trying to. We're like, we just gotta. All it got to do is just catch that one like kind of high TikTok person, and then everyone else will follow suit, because that's exactly what TikTok is.
Honestly, I think it's easier to do that as like a solo rap artist or even as a rap group, because touring's way easier and you can make music way easier. Yeah, like, I mean, you don't need a full band to get together to write and record.
Well, look at like Denzel Curry.
Denzel Curry, I think, is one of the examples of people who
would be nowhere without Vine.
But also, he rolled with the momentum. He didn't let himself become a one-hit wonder. Yeah. He continued to put out really good music. Yeah. He used that to launch his career rather than
ride off it.
Which is like, yeah, that's like Denzel Curry's
when you think of your favorite
cool
Denzel Curry song right now, is it Ultimate or is it like Sumo or
and like
Vengeance?
Yeah.
Black Balloons.
So much good stuff.
Except you can still go back and listen to Ultimate, and that shit slaps hard.
But like he's continued to improve. People know his other songs.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like when you go on TikTok and you hear that Young Gravy song. Mm-hmm. You know, juice, sauce, little bit of dressing.
Is that where you got
ice,
that from?
Wrist, little bit of flexing. And then if you just like click that, you can search by the song they use, and if you just search that clip, there's literally over 4 million TikToks that have that song in them, that have just done the joke is, well, no one can see me, but you hold up like
hold up like ranch and
hold up a dressing
now,
and then you ice, wrist, little bit of flexing,
right?
And then just everybody copies it.
But that was like the entire conceit behind Musical.ly, right? Was make funny syncs to music.
TikTok
clips.
is literally the people who own Musical.ly sold it to like a Chinese company, and the Chinese company is like, all right, just erase the name Musical.ly,
right?
The name TikTok, and then put it back on the App Store.
Which is
that's not a joke or anything. Like that's exactly what happened.
When Musical.ly was a thing, my thoughts on it initially were like, oh, this is dumb.
Yeah.
But the reality of it is it's just a platform, and it is whatever you make of it.
Because the advertisements that they push for it were so cringy.
Yeah,
like it was unbearable.
That's like how now all I see is like TikTok cringe compilations, but I like unironically go on TikTok and consume content.
The question is, are you patient enough to sift through all the garbage to find something good?
Sometimes. Yeah.
I am.
And also, some people are basically using it like a Vine too.
Yeah.
Are they not?
Yeah. There's Viners on there still making Vines.
I think there's a legit like market for short form comedy that Vine left a big hole.
Well, yeah,
in the market.
Like I don't want to see like that's what I feel like Logan, the Logan and Jake Paul, and who's that?
Here's a question:
the Spanish lady, Lily Pons. And it's like those people were funny 6 seconds at a time, and then they try to hop over to YouTube, and it's like.
And even when Vine started doing long Vines, like 30-second Vines, and people were starting to do like minute-long videos on Vine, and it was like, I don't want to watch this. I'm here for like short, quick.
Yeah.
Give me your best.
That's like the day Vine died was the day it extended. It's
yeah.
Well, because that's like
6
how do
seconds
you,
to 30.
like, because if you try to think about it, how do we captivate an audience for 10 minutes? How do we captivate an audience for 6 seconds?
Right, but it's
a lot
also
easier
like
to make better, condensed, funny content.
It's like
over the course of 6 seconds.
Man, where do I go to watch 6-second videos? Only Vine. That's the only place. They extend that. Where do I go to watch 30-second videos? Well, I guess
go to YouTube.
Instagram's got a lot of them.
Yeah, Instagram.
YouTube's another one.
I honestly do not use Instagram as Instagram is just an advertising platform for me at this point.
Yeah,
I mean that's fine.
I mean, I guess
I use it to keep up. Like it's a way to keep up with internet personalities I follow that feels slightly more personal than like liking their page on Facebook or whatever.
Yeah, and I get that, but I mean, my Instagram feed is nothing but other like car sticky manufacturers and cosplayers.
It's what you make of it. Like I mean, all social platforms are. But here's a question I wanted to ask: are you a sellout if you try to get TikTok famous for your band? Like, where does that compare to like trying to get on the radio?
Remember back in the day when it was like you'd see like rappers like handing out demos on the actual street, like
with
let's go to New York and actually hand out CDs like, hey, this is my rap album for free. Take it. I feel like that's
people.
Because what else are you going to do these days?
You mentioned that, and there's people that still do that, and it makes me really uncomfortable. Yeah. Like when we were in line every year when I'm in line at Warped Tour.
Oh, there's always bands doing.
Oh, yeah, there's always like,
and Warped Tour kind of makes more sense because it's a huge event. Thousands of people go to that.
That was my deadline for getting the Taco House EP done specifically, so
they could do that.
Could give out.
No,
copies.
but okay. Warped Tour is like a big mainstream example, but like people do that for like regular shows. Like at regular venues, and then it's just like, ugh.
Now, except we talked about this a while ago, and this idea has not been realized yet because we didn't go the merch route. But what if we were like, hey, let us sponsor your event, but we get a table, and on it, it's got like Wimbledon Alley CDs, Dolphin Party CDs, stickers, all the Turbo Cult merch that we sell.
We were thinking about using Turbo Cult. This is one of the many, I wouldn't say failures, but one of the many
Turbo Cult is us throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Yeah.
There is failure. There's a lot of failures.
Well, because, I mean, the failures aren't, again,
they're not like devastating.
We talked about this in Daily that hasn't come out yet.
Yeah.
They're just us learning what doesn't work.
Yeah. And I mean, if you're scared of failing, then you're not going to succeed because you're not going to try. Like we tried a lot. We tried a lot of stuff.
Like people who are successful are just people who have failed a lot more than you have.
But yeah, our idea was for like a kind of record label, a one-stop shop record label where like, hey, we'll design your merch, we'll make your merch, we'll record you, we'll promote you, we'll book your tours.
Except, you know what happened?
That's a lot of effort.
We got a lot better at video and like audio and stayed exactly the same, exactly as mediocre as at graphic design and printing shirts and all of that stuff. Like we could cover half of it. Like if you wanted a good music video, lyric video,
we were trying to network out.
They're like, all right, we'll just narrow it down a little bit.
We're trying to insert this guy's name here because I just don't want to like start name dropping actual people.
Right.
But like we
don't want nobody to poach our potential
to like book shows for us, and we were going to get this guy to do this job.
We've got a wide enough network of people that we know in the scene that we could like if we had money, like let's just pretend we have a bunch of money. We could start a label easily if we could start paying people.
Yeah, but then slowly, the more we worked it out, the more we realized that labels are useless and stupid in this day and age.
Yeah.
And it's better just to serve artists' needs on a like contract basis.
Yeah. But the idea of that was because we were going to do this with Wimble, but we never followed through. Was like, hey, you're a Turbo Cult sponsored artist now. We made your shoes.
Yeah. Which got dirty in that one video shoot, and then they disappeared.
But then it was like, so like Wimble would play a show, and then we'd set up your little merch booth, and it's got Wimble shirts, but it's also got like Turbo Cult shirts and Turbo Cult stickers and like related stuff.
There was that idea. I think we had where it was they like paying to be on a label. It sucks and is dumb. If you're paying your label money, they're doing it. They should be paying you money for the value that you bring.
I had the idea of like a democratic socialism of a label.
Our idea was
where all the bands like pay the label, but it's not the label's money. It's a pool of money for the bands to use. Like each band pays like their yearly due. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, hey, we're Zodiac and we're like $200 short for our shirts. And it's like, well, we have thousands of dollars in the pool. And then each one of the bands is like, hey, do you agree with we can all give $200 of our dollars to this band because they need shirts? And everyone's like, oh, yeah, cool.
Another one, we had another iteration of that idea where it was like, where we were a label, but it was like, you're a Turbo Cult band. You put Turbo Cult on the back of your CD or whatever, and on like link to it on your page, like where like some people do with promotional agencies, except it was you're a Turbo Cult band now, and you don't pay us anything, but by repping all of our merch and stuff, you get all of our services at a discounted fee.
Yeah,
like you get music videos are half off.
Might be a good idea.
It could be. It's like we're sponsoring you, but we're a media company, so you get, instead of getting a guitar, you get a music video.
Yeah, which I still feel like is
someone's
going to steal this idea. Don't put it on the podcast.
Well, if they can't see, now here's the thing. This is why it's a good idea: is you can't just steal this idea unless you're already good at all the things we're good at.
Yeah.
Yeah, get fucked. You're not as good as us.
Plus, I'm not afraid of giving away ideas because people are bad at executing.
Fuck off. We're better than you. Ben Drake, 2018. Sure. Quoted.
Bumper sticker. Print it.
We put out a lot of like
my other car is
videos.
Ben Drake.
We are reaching close to the end.
Welcome to the money zone. Shit, no, that's the wrong podcast.
It's the funny zone.
The funny.
Tell your funniest jokes.
Why did the chicken cross the road? To get to the dummy's house.
I see jokes all the time, and I'm like,
Wimble.
Yeah, what's up?
Knock, knock.
Who's
knock,
there?
knock. The chicken.
You the dummy. Who the chicken?
All right, we are now exiting the funny zone. That's it.
Funny zone over. We shut the door, we locked it, we swallowed the key, and
Friendship
we're never
with
coming
funny
back.
Zone ended.
What do you usually podcasts do towards the end?
Wrap up.
Is this where we talk about our sponsors? Hey, if you want to sponsor this podcast,
please.
What are we drinking right now? A little NOS Energy, a little Arizona Energy.
Yo, Arizona, sponsor me.
I've been trying to get Arizona. Well, and when I say trying to get, I mean loudly complaining that we're not sponsored by Arizona.
Just
since the Sorkajira days.
Indirect.
Our audience is small. We don't have a lot of reach, but we are willing to take sponsorship. We vape a lot. I'll take any sort of vape sponsor.
Yep.
Any sort of drink. Just send us free drink.
Or guitar strings.
Guitar strings.
As a matter of fact,
send us anything. Send us literally anything.
You could be a shampoo company. I haven't used shampoo in like 14 years.
If you mail us like
but I will
Dollar Shave Club,
a 24-pack of Arizona, and just send us a name you want us to say a lot.
Send us anything with any message, and we will spread that message to our small, limited audience.
Yes, and they will purchase things. Maybe.
We should do it like newspaper style, like 5 cents a word or something. We'll read whatever message, but it's this much.
You pay us later, and it's $1 per every person, every play.
So like this. If we get 20 plays this week, it's $20.
if we get 1,000 plays, it's $1,000.
I feel
Take
like
the gamble.
in marketing online.
wait, before you do
that's
that,
too expensive.
I
per
just
person.
thought of the idea of if that were the contract we had with like Arizona or something, and they're like, "All right, we'll pay you $1 for every play you get." And we open up the podcast and they're like listening to it to kind of like scope it out.
Yeah.
And like, hi, welcome to Brick Rigby's Metal Gear Solid Hour. And Arizona goes, oh, fuck. Or like, no, they'd be glad because no one's going to listen to it.
Yes.
And then you post it in some obscure Reddit forum where it gets 20,000 plays and they owe you $20,000.
Pay up, Arizona.
What if, like, how... this would never work.
Kojima would probably retweet it.
I was going to say, Rick, just sit in front of, pull a Nakey Jakey and sit in front of that green screen and ramble about Metal Gear Solid in an organized fashion. Here's the problem. You have to do it in an organized fashion that we can break down into a series. That's like, I think the number one thing that prevents us from
But the problem is
doing that kind of stuff is we're very disorganized.
We should do that with Revengeance.
everyone has talked about Metal Gear, though. There's nothing I can say that's
it's such
brings
a
anything
big
new
topic.
to the table.
I mean, you say that, but like, if Donkey did a Metal Gear Solid, you'd watch it.
I mean, he probably wouldn't, but we would.
I don't watch Donkey that much.
All right, what's your favorite gaming YouTube personality?
Couchot.
I watch Immortal HD's Minecraft Let's Plays.
All right, so we've got stickers in the shop. We just put up the very
Stickers in the
shop.
very
Vids
legal
on
and
the
very
tube.
cool.
We're piecing it together. We gotta get more. We gotta keep
Stickies in the shop, vids on the tube.
Scoots in the garage.
and got my hand on the lube.
No.
Good night.
Left hand stunting, right hand stunting.
Subscribe to this podcast on
Is
your
that a thing?
podcaster. If you can do it on Podbean, or you can do it on, like, if there's an RSS, any podcatcher will read this. I think you can even add them to iTunes.
I've been around since the start of RSS.
Me too.
I don't know what RSS is.
I've written RSS
Still.
by hand, and it's very
I have
inconvenient.
no idea what it is.
It's
What
code.
the fuck is the internet?
RSS stands for really simple syndicate.
It's not.
Syndication.
What
It's
is
really
it?
simple.
It's basically just all the information for each episode of the podcast and what order they go in is just in this big list under code. There's like tags for title and length and where the file is. And the idea is you just put this into a reader, an RSS reader, and you just get all this stuff. Like, that's how people used to do.
I remember that was always on like BBS forums and stuff.
Yeah, I used to get. There was one of my favorite things that is, it's not around anymore, but I loved it when it existed. Was Google had like a start page that you could add stuff to and customize. And I would add like just load it up with RSS. Here's my favorite podcast, my forums, my news, things I want.
I'm pretty sure I just
all this
filled that with
stuff.
like games.
I'm pretty sure that's also
me too.
Flash games.
What's the rain meter? I know a lot of people used to do that.
Like, I know there's like Flipboard and stuff you can get on like tablets where you can add stuff, but nowadays it's not like it used to be where you could just add an RSS feed. It's like every app has its own categories and sources, and there's not a one place where I can get everything.
I remember every time I would get a new car, like a new to me car, I would immediately join the forums for that car.
Is this a conversation we should start at the ending of this podcast?
It's not a conversation. It's just a quick bit.
Okay.
But because, I mean, this was like mid 2000s. So like, I just bought a Geo Metro. So I hop in the Geo Metro forums to find like what are common issues I can have.
And you added that RSS to your...
No, and then when people would do builds, like, I'm building this miles per gallon Geo Metro. And people would be like, interesting build. Definitely subbing to this RSS. I'm like, RSS subbing. So that way when the person would like, here's my next pictures and my new update, they would just get it on their RSS feed.
Yeah, RSS is basically at its core just a way to subscribe to a thing that keeps getting updated, whether that's news or a podcast or whatever. But we plan on eventually, when we hit the limit, which we're about 4 episodes from, we can start paying for the hosting on Podbean, and then we can get on iTunes and Spotify, hopefully, and you can just sub it up on there.
Woo.
Yeah.
Woo.
Or continue to like do it on YouTube, but like you got to keep the window or You gotta keep your phone open.
You can't listen to it on your phone.
Unless you want to pay YouTube $6 a month.
I mean, Josh was like, "Hey, now my YouTube Premium's coming in handy now. Finally." I was like,
well, this is for you, Josh. This YouTube episode, unless you're listening to it somewhere else.
Shout
in which case,
out to Heat Blaze. This entire episode is dedicated to Heat Blaze.
There you
what
go.
if we just had episodes sponsored by our?
I mean, wasn't last one Cicey and Dylan?
Sure.
One of them was.
It was
These are the
dedicated
poop
to
one.
Cicey and Dylan. Yeah.
Yeah. All
This
right.
one's
one's for you,
dedicated-
Heat Blaze.
This
See
goes
you
out to you,
later.
and then you play some old
And goodbye.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.